All right. Today we're going to be talking about decimals. What are they and where have we seen them? Well, the first place that we most likely have seen them is in money. When we think about prices, we see decimals a lot. If the price is 19.99 or 8.75. We also might see decimals when it comes to baseball, such as a person's batting average, which could be 0.475, which is actually a pretty good batting average. We also see it in the grocery store, again with prices and with money, but even more, we can see it with races, sometimes track races or swimming races or even skiing races when we talk about a person's time, which might be 11.2 seconds. Today we will relate fractions and decimals with denominators of 10 and 100 by using place value understanding and visual models in order to understand the relationship between fractions and decimals. A quick recap of place value. So if we're talking about place value, the 7 would be the ones place, the 2 would be the tens place, the 8 would be the hundreds place, the 4 would be the thousands place, and the 3 would be the 10,000s place. And we can rewrite these place values in a different way as well. If we were talking about the ones place, this would be 7 times 1. If we were looking at the tens place, this would be 2 times 10. The hundreds place would be 8 times 100. The thousands place would be 4 times 1,000. And last but not least, what we've got here, the 10,000s place would be 3 times 10,000. And we talked about this a lot when we were going over place value earlier in the year, but every time we go this way, our number gets bigger by a multiple of 10. That's important to remember. And even more as we keep going, it'll keep getting bigger by a multiple of 10. Now, if we looked at the right-hand side of the decimal point, if we looked at this 0.14, when we read this, we would read this as and. And let's talk about how we would demonstrate each of these. So this 1 is actually 1 out of 10. Or this can be written as 1/10 or 1 divided by 10. This 4 is actually 4 out of 100 or 4/100ths or 4 divided by 100. And if we look back up at the top, their names kind of even give that away with tenths and hundredths. If we take a look at this picture, how many holes are shaded in here? We've got 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 holes. And then if we look over here, how many do we have shaded in out of 10? We've got 1, 2, 3. So 3 out of 10, which, if I asked you to write this as a fraction, could look a little something like this. It would be a mixed number, and it would be 3 3/10. Or we could rewrite this using decimals. It's 3, this little decimal becomes the and then the 3 is in the tenths place, so you read this the same as 3 3/10. Let's say, for instance, yesterday I was really hungry. I had bought 1 candy bar at the grocery store. Because I don't go to the grocery store often, I didn't want to eat it all in one sitting, so I broke it up into 10 equal pieces. Then I sat down and ate 4 of those pieces. What fraction of the candy bar did I eat? So let's first start out by breaking up this chocolate bar into 10 equal pieces. So the chocolate bars are whole, and what we know about fractions is that the denominator would be 10 if we're cutting it up into 10 equal pieces. And let's pretend that these are equals. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Okay, so then I decided to sit down and eat 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've eaten 4/10 of this chocolate bar. Now, if I wanted to write this 4/10 as a decimal, what we need to remember is that 4/10 is also a division sentence, which is 4 divided by 10. And when we remember that, we know that we can write it as 4/10. Let's take a look at this picture. How many holes do we have here? We've got 1, 2. So we've got 2 holes. And then how much is shaded in out of this piece right here? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And this is a 10 by 10 block. So we've got 52 out of 100. So if we wanted to write this again as a mixed number, we could write it as 2 and 52 100ths. But if we remember that this fraction can also be written as a decimal and a division equation, we can remember that we can also write it as 2 and 52 hundredths. So all in all, as you're working, just remember the place value table below. If you're looking to the left, these are going to be your whole numbers. Things like 1 times 1, 1 times 10, 1 times 100, 1 times 1,000, and 1 times 10,000. And just remember that every time we go up, we multiply by 10. So as we increase a place value going this way, we multiply by 10. Oops, that kind of looks like an addition, and I don't want us to get confused with that. It's definitely multiplication. Whoops. Multiplication, and then one more. Times 10. Now, when we're going the opposite direction, when we are going this way, this is our fraction. And it would be like 1 divided by 10, or 1/10, or 0.1. This would be 1 divided by 100, or 1/100th, or 0.01. And just remember, as we go this way, we divide by 10. And even going from over here, we divide by 10. And we read this little decimal point as and. So like we were doing in all the examples, if we had 3 and 4/10, we would read it just like that.